Welcome to the podcast, What Changes Everything. I'm JC Thackeray, and this is a space for people who feel like something isn't working in their marriage, but aren't exactly sure what to do about it. Each week, I'll walk you through simple tools and new ways of thinking that can change how you experience your relationship and your life. Today, we're talking about emotions. Have you ever thought, I just don't want to feel this way anymore, and I want this feeling to go away, or I shouldn't feel this way? Well, I've got good news for you. You're not alone. Most of us were never taught what to do with emotions like that. So when they show up, we either try to avoid them, push them down, or react to them. And none of that actually helps. When your relationship feels off, there are a lot of emotions involved. Some of them can be frustration, disconnection, resentment, sadness, confusion, and disappointment. Often, it can feel like the emotion itself is the problem. Like if you could just stop feeling this way, everything would be better. But that's not actually how it works. Emotions are signals. They are not problems, and they're not something to fix. They're feedback. They're your body responding to what your brain is thinking. And having emotions is part of being a human and part of having a functioning brain. So when you feel something, it's not random, and it's not coming from your partner. It's coming from what you're thinking about your situation. And our emotions always come from the thoughts we are thinking. But oftentimes when we feel an emotion we don't like, we like to blame it on something outside of us. For example, let's say your partner says something short or dismissive. The circumstance or the fact is they said such and such, but your brain immediately goes to, they shouldn't have said that, they don't respect me, they don't care, this is always how it is, and then you feel hurt, angry, shut down, or disappointed. And the feeling feels so real. But it's actually being created by what your brain made that moment mean. So we're supposed to have emotions, all of them, not just the good ones, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Emotions are part of being a human. They are not a sign that something has gone wrong. They're a sign that you're alive and your brain is doing its job. Most people, when they feel an emotion they don't like, they do one of three things. They avoid it, or they resist it, or they react because of it. All of those keep the emotion around longer. There was so many times in my marriage where I felt overwhelmed with emotion and I didn't know what to do with it. So I would shut down or get frustrated or try to fix the situation so I didn't have to feel that way anymore. And it felt like the emotion meant something had gone wrong. But what I've learned now is that the feeling itself wasn't the problem. The emotion I was feeling was a result of the thoughts I was thinking about a certain situation. I was creating my own emotions. And guess what? That's the best news, because that means we can have power over our emotions. That doesn't mean we should always think positive thoughts so we don't feel negative emotions. There are some times when it's okay to be mad, sad, or disappointed, and it's okay to feel those emotions. But oftentimes, we don't want to feel them. When they're negative, we often avoid them. But guess what? That never works. So if avoiding your emotions doesn't work and reacting from your emotions doesn't work, what are you actually supposed to do with your emotions? Well, I'm going to teach you right now what you're supposed to do. This is something I teach my clients all the time. There is a simple process that you need to follow. And the goal of the process is not to get rid of the emotion. It is actually to process the emotion. Because when you don't, it doesn't just disappear. It gets stored in your body. And over time, it can turn into resentment. So an emotion, when you allow it, will often move through your body in about 90 seconds. But most of us never allow that to actually happen. We interrupt it because we resist it, or we react to it. And that's what keeps it around. Okay, So now I'm going to teach you the 6 steps of how to process an emotion. The first thing you're going to do when you feel an emotion is try to identify what emotion you're feeling right now. Be specific. Try and get very specific. Don't just say, I'm mad, I'm frustrated. We know that anger is a secondary emotion. And so usually there's a primary emotion that comes first. So you really want to label what it is you're feeling. Are you feeling hurt? Are you feeling rejected? Are you feeling lonely? Disappointed? Really get specific with yourself and try and pinpoint exactly what emotion you're feeling. Have you ever seen one of these? This is an emotions wheel. This has the name of several different emotions that you may or may not be feeling. It's so helpful when I'm trying to figure out what emotion I'm feeling, or I'm trying to teach my kids or my husband to try and figure out what emotion they may be feeling. Sometimes we don't even know what emotion we're feeling until we look at a chart like this, and then it helps us figure that out. Number 2, you're going to ask, what does this feel like in my body? You're going to describe it. Is it feel heavy? Where is it at? Is it in my chest? Is it in my stomach? Is it a lump in my throat? Do you just feel dread? So you want to describe it, the physical sensation that you're feeling in your body when you're feeling that emotion. And you just want to notice it and just be like, okay, so right now, my chest feels heavy. Right now, I feel like I have a lump in my throat. Right now, I feel like my head is going to explode. It's just fine to focus on that. And as you focus on that emotion, you're going to try and just breathe through it and feel that emotion as it is in your body as something different that wasn't there before. Number 3, don't judge the emotion. A lot of times when you're thinking certain things, we think, I shouldn't be feeling this way. This is so dumb. Why am I so emotional? Why am I upset? I shouldn't be doing this. You don't want to do that. You don't want to judge the emotion. You want to just let it be. You want to accept it and be like, oh, okay, right now, I'm feeling like I want to cry. Or right now, I'm feeling like I want to yell. That's okay. So you just want to let the feeling be there without making it wrong. Okay? And number 4, you're going to allow it. You're going to allow the emotion to be there. And you're just going to breathe and you're going to focus on it. You're going to focus on the feeling as it is in your body, and you're just going to breathe through it. And try to do that for at least a couple of minutes. You don't want to fix it. You don't want to push it away. You want to let it be there, and then you want to feel it. So number 5, what you're going to do is you're going to be curious about it. While you're thinking about it and feeling it, you're going to ask, why am I thinking and feeling this way? Isn't it interesting that when this situation happens, I start to feel this? It's not to judge yourself. It's not to think that you're doing something wrong. It's just to understand what it is you're feeling and maybe try and focus on why you're feeling it. And number 6, you're going to be compassionate with yourself. You're going to talk to yourself like you would talk to somebody that you care deeply about. If this was your child that was feeling this emotion, how would you speak to them? How would you act? If someone you love was crying, how would you treat them? Would you get mad at them and tell them not to cry and that it's dumb to cry? No, you probably wouldn't. You would probably put your arm around them and be like, hey, I understand. It's normal that you're feeling this way. So you don't want to be harsh. You don't want to be critical. You just want to understand and be compassionate with yourself. So after you do those 6 things, you're going to connect back to yourself, and you're going to start realizing that you are allowed to feel all the emotions. When you do this, you stop reacting from the emotion, and you stop saying things you don't mean, and you stop creating more distance. And when you do that, you start having control over showing up the way you actually want to. When you don't process your emotions, they don't go away. They just build and build. And oftentimes what builds with them is walls and distance and disconnection. And that's where oftentimes you find that you also have resentment. So if you're feeling a lot of emotions in your relationship right now, that doesn't mean something has gone wrong. It just means you're a human being. And when you learn how to process your emotions instead of fighting them, you can change your entire experience. Remember, when you're feeling an emotion you don't want to feel, don't run from it and don't avoid it. First, you're going to name it. Second, you're going to describe it. Third, you're not going to judge it. Fourth, you're going to allow it. Fifth, you're going to be curious about it. And sixth, you're going to be compassionate. This is a sure way to help you process those emotions as you breathe through it and just allow them to be there. And before you know it, that emotion will come and go, and you will feel much better on the other side. If this is something you're struggling with and you want help applying it to your specific situation, you can book a one-on-one free consult call with me. I'll walk you through what's coming up for you and how to start working through it. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow the podcast. I'll be sharing more tools like this each week. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great week.